Ramiel shows up in episode 5, and it's basically a floating death fortress. The thing doesn't even need to move much. It just hovers over Tokyo 3 and starts drilling straight down toward Nerve headquarters with this massive energy drill. While it's drilling, it's completely untouchable because of its insane defensive setup. The first time Shinji encounters Ramiel in Unit 1, he doesn't even get a chance to fight. The second Unit 1 steps out into the open. Ramiel's particle beam fires and hits Shinji directly in the chest. This beam is so powerful that it melts straight through Unit 1's armor and nearly cooks Shinji alive inside the entry plug. He's screaming in agony, and they have to emergency eject him. Shinji almost dies right there. His heart actually stops, and they have to resuscitate him. What makes Ramiel nearly impossible to kill is its AT field, which is the strongest one seen up to that point in the series. Regular weapons can't even get close. Missiles, artillery shells, everything just bounces off or gets vaporized. The Angel can sense any threat within its range and automatically fires its particle beam with perfect accuracy. The beam is so powerful it can curve and bend to track targets, and it fires instantly with no charge-up time after the first shot. Nerve realizes they can't get close enough for close combat, so they come up with this insane plan called Operation Yashima. They literally have to borrow all the electrical power in Japan, every single watt, to power an experimental positron sniper rifle. They're talking about shutting down hospitals, homes, everything, just to get enough energy for one shot. The rifle they use is actually a prototype weapon borrowed from the JSSDF that's been modified to work with an EVA. The operation takes place at night, with Shinji as the sniper and Rei as his shield. The first shot has enough power to punch through mountains, but Ramiel's AT field actually deflects it. The beam bends away at the last second. Meanwhile, Ramiel starts charging up its own counterattack, and this time it's putting everything into one massive blast to wipe them out. Rei has to physically shield Shinji with Unit 0, using a heat shield made from the space shuttle's bottom. Ramiel's beam is melting through this shield that's designed to survive re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. While Rei is blocking, Shinji has to manually aim because the targeting computer is fried, and he only has seconds before Ramiel's beam breaks through and kills them both. The second shot finally works, punching straight through Ramiel's AT field and core. The Angel screams and transforms through all these different geometric patterns before finally dying. It took the entire country's power supply, 2 EVAs working together, and nearly killed both pilots just to land one successful hit on this thing. Zeruel shows up in episode 19 and immediately lets everyone know it's not messing around. This Angel is basically a floating fortress with paper-thin arms that slice through anything. When it arrives at Tokyo 3, Nerve throws everything they have at it, missiles, tanks, artillery, and Zeruel doesn't even slow down. It just keeps floating forward like all those explosions are raindrops. The really terrifying part about Zeruel is how it tears through the Geofront's defenses. Tokyo 3 has 18 special armor plates protecting Nerve headquarters, and each one is supposed to be strong enough to withstand nuclear blasts. Zeruel's razor arms cut through all 18 layers in seconds, like slicing through a stack of paper. Even when they hit it with an N2 mine, basically the strongest non-nuclear weapon they have, Zeruel just shrugs it off and keeps going. When the EVAs finally engage, things get even worse. Rei tries to stop it with a suicide attack using an N2 bomb, but Zeruel's AT field is so strong that even a point-blank explosion barely scratches it. Asuka goes in with Unit 2 and gets absolutely destroyed. Zeruel cuts off both of Unit 2's arms and then decapitates it. The Angel's arms regenerate instantly whenever they get damaged, so there's literally no way to disarm this thing. Shinji arrives late to the battle in Unit 1, and even he can't do anything at first. Zeruel beats Unit 1 so badly that the EVA runs out of power. At this point, Zeruel is literally seconds away from reaching Nerve's command center, where everyone is hiding. The Angel starts drilling through the final wall with this massive energy beam from its face that melts through everything. The only reason humanity survives is because Unit 1 goes completely berserk. But it's not just the normal berserk mode. Unit 1 literally reactivates itself without any power source, tears its way out of the restraints, and starts moving on its own. It rips open its own jaw limiters and starts eating Zeruel alive, absorbing the Angel's S2 organ in the process. This isn't Shinji winning through skill or strategy. It's Unit 1 itself, deciding it wants to live and becoming something beyond an EVA. Zeruel was so powerful that it took an actual awakening of an Evangelion god to stop it. The battle ends with Unit 1 absorbing Zeruel completely and achieving a 400% sync rate that briefly merges Shinji into the EVA itself. Armisael shows up in episode 23 as this glowing ring of light floating in the sky, and right away it's different from every other angel. Most angels try to destroy things with brute force or energy beams, but Armisael wants to become one with its enemies. It's basically a biological virus in angel form, and that makes it almost impossible to fight normally. When Rei first attacks it in Unit 0, Armisael transforms from a ring into this cord-like tentacle and literally stabs into Unit 0's body. But it's not just piercing the armor, it's actually fusing with the EVA on a cellular cellular level. The angel starts spreading through Unit 0 like an infection, and the contamination readings go crazy. Nerve's computers show the biofusion happening in real time, and they can't do anything to stop it. The really messed up part is that Armisael doesn't just attack physically. Once it starts merging with Unit 0, Rey begins feeling the angel's emotions, or maybe it's feeling hers. She starts crying inside the entry plug, experiencing this overwhelming loneliness and desire to connect with others. The angel is literally trying to understand human emotions by becoming one with Rey, and she's seeing these visions of herself and questioning her own existence. Asuka tries to help in Unit 2, but she can't even get close. Her Eva's still messed up from previous battles and won't activate properly because of her psychological state. When Shinji arrives in Unit 1, Armisael immediately extends another tentacle toward him, trying to infect a second Eva at the same time. It manages to pierce Unit 1's hand, and the contamination starts spreading into Shinji's Eva too. Rey realizes there's only one way to stop this thing. She tells Shinji to stay back, then does something that shocks everyone at Nerve. She reverses her AT field, turning it inward to trap Armisael inside Unit 0 with her. The reversed AT field creates this containment bubble that the angel can't escape from, but doing this means Rey can't escape either. With Armisael trapped, Rey activates Unit 0's self-destruct system. The explosion is massive, completely vaporizing both the angel and Unit 0. Rey dies in this explosion. This is actually when Rey 2nd dies, and they have to activate Rey 3rd from the dummy plug plant. The crazy thing is that right before she dies, Rey actually smiles, and she's crying real tears for maybe the first time in her life. Arael shows up in episode 22 as this massive bird-like angel with glowing wings, but it stays in satellite orbit the entire time. This thing never comes down to Earth, which means the Evas can't even reach it for a regular fight. It's just floating up there in space, completely out of range of any weapon Nerve has except one. When Asuka launches in Unit 2 to intercept it, she doesn't even get a chance to attack. Arael shoots this beam of light down from orbit that looks harmless at first. It's not melting armor or exploding anything, but this beam goes straight through Unit 2's AT field like it doesn't exist and hits Asuka's mind directly. She starts screaming immediately because the angel is literally attacking her psyche, not her Eva. The beam forces Asuka to relive her worst memories and traumas. She's seeing her mother's death, her childhood loneliness, all the time she felt worthless, everything she's tried to bury. The angel is basically performing forced psychoanalysis, ripping open every emotional wound Asuka has. She's screaming in German, begging for help, calling for her mother, and the other pilots can hear everything over the comm system. It goes on for hours. Nerve tries everything to help her. They attempt to cut the neural connections, but they can't without killing Asuka. Her mind is so messed up that her Eva is rejecting help. Misato orders a retreat, but Unit 2 won't move because Asuka's synchronization is completely broken. She's basically trapped in her Eva while this angel performs mental torture from space. The really frustrating part is that Arael is completely untouchable up there. Regular missiles can't reach orbit, the positron rifle from the Ramiel fight doesn't have the range, and the Evas obviously can't fly to space. Nerve literally has no way to fight back. They're just watching Asuka's sync rate drop, and her vital signs go crazy while this angel dissects her mind. Gendo finally makes the call to use the Spear of Longinus, which is this huge fork-like weapon that's been holding Lilith in place in Terminal Dogma. This is literally their most important artifact. It's irreplaceable and crucial for their plans, but it's the only thing that can reach orbit. Rey takes the spear in Unit 0, goes to the surface, and throws it like a javelin into space. The spear flies up, extends and transforms as it travels, and pierces straight through Arael's AT field and core. The angel explodes in orbit, finally releasing Asuka, but the spear keeps going and gets lost in space. They've permanently lost humanity's most powerful weapon just to kill one angel. And Asuka? She's so mentally destroyed from this attack that she can barely sync with Unit 2 anymore. Her confidence is shattered, and she spends the next episodes basically catatonic. Ireul shows up in episode 13, and it's completely different from every other angel because it starts out microscopic. During a routine activation test with Unit 0, Nerve detects this weird contamination in the simulation bodies. These protein walls start corroding out of nowhere. At first, they think it's just some kind of bacteria or chemical leak, but then the contamination starts evolving and adapting way too fast to be normal. The angel literally evolves in minutes. What would take normal organisms millions of years? They blast it with ozone to sterilize it, and within seconds, it adapts to use ozone as food. They try extreme heat, freezing temperatures, every type of radiation, and Ireul just instantly evolves to survive each attack. The contamination starts spreading through the pipes and walls of Nerve, eating through metal and concrete like acid. Then Ireul does something nobody expected. It evolves from biological matter into electronic data. It actually transforms into a computer virus and invades the Magi super supercomputer system. These orange circuit-like patterns start spreading across all the computer screens, and Nerve starts losing control of their entire base. The Angel is literally hacking into their systems, learning how everything works in real time. The situation gets really bad when Ireul starts taking over the Magi's 3 biocomputers, Casper, Balthazar, and Melchior. These aren't just regular computers, they're partially biological systems based on Dr. Naoko Akagi's brain patterns. Once Ireul controls them, it can self-destruct the Nerve headquarters, launch all the missiles, or pretty much do whatever it wants. It's already taken over 2 of the 3 Magi units, and it's working on the 3rd. The Evas are completely useless. They're giant robots meant for physical combat, not cyber warfare. Ireul is evolving faster than they can think of countermeasures, and it's getting smarter every second. It starts setting up a self-destruct sequence for the entire facility, and they can't override it because the Angel controls the computers. Ritsuko comes up with this desperate plan where she has to physically crawl into the Magi's maintenance tunnels with her laptop. She's literally sitting in this tiny crawl space, typing code while the self-destruct countdown is running. Her idea is to speed up Ireul's evolution but trick it into evolving toward death instead of survival. She writes a program that makes the Angel think self-destruction is the next logical evolutionary step. She uploads this code directly into Casper, the last Magi unit that's still fighting off the infection. The program works. Ireul starts evolving so fast that it basically evolves itself out of existence. The Angel disappears from the system just 1 second before the self-destruct would have blown up the entire geofront. They literally won by making the Angel too smart for its own good. Israfel appears in episode 9 as this humanoid angel with a weird face that looks like a mask, and right away it shows why it's such a pain to kill. When Asuka and Shinji first attack it together, they're completely uncoordinated. Asuka's showing off, Shinji's trying to keep up, and they end up getting in each other's way. But when they finally land some hits and damage Israfel's core, the angel does something nobody saw coming. Instead of dying, Israfel splits into 2 separate angels. They call them Ko and Otsu in the reports. Each half has its own core and can fight independently, but they move in perfect sync with each other. It's like fighting one opponent that happens to have 2 bodies. The 2 halves start demolishing both Unit 1 and Unit 2, bouncing them around like ping pong balls. Nerve has to call a retreat because the Evas are getting destroyed. The problem with Israfel is that even if you destroy one half, the other half can just regenerate its partner. The only way to kill it is to destroy both cores at the exact same moment. We're talking split-second timing. If you're even a fraction of a second off, the surviving half will just bring back the other one, and you're back to square one. Nerve's computers calculate that the pilots need to maintain perfect synchronization for their entire attack pattern. Misato comes up with this crazy training program where Shinji and Asuka have to live together and do everything in sync. They're practicing with this Dance Dance Revolution style setup, doing synchronized movements for days. They eat together, train together, even breathe in sync. The whole thing is set to music because they need to internalize the rhythm for their attack. It's actually pretty funny watching them stumble through the training at first. The rematch happens a week later, and this time Shinji and Asuka are perfectly synchronized. They launch their attack to classical music. It's choreographed down to every step and punch. They're dodging Israfel's attacks in unison, landing hits at the exact same time, moving like they're one person controlling both Evas. The whole battle takes exactly 62 seconds from start to finish, and they can't mess up a single move. The crucial moment comes when they both drop-kick the 2 halves of Israfel at the same time, then unleash their progressive knives into both cores simultaneously. The timing is so precise that both cores shatter at the exact same millisecond. If either pilot had been even slightly off, Israfel would have regenerated and they'd have to start over. The angel finally explodes for good, but only because they achieve perfect synchronization. If you like this video, turn on the notification bell and subscribe for more.